Alrighty, so I'm back with yet another Pauper deck tech. Today it's a mono-red Ponza land destruction deck, kind of inspired by the pre-modern Ponza red decks. So it is definitely a bit rough around the edges. It's just kind of an initial draft. I have played some matches with it to varying degrees of success, but I thought I would just show it to kind of get the creative juices flowing, and if you have ideas, please let me know. One thing I will kind of say off the bat is that in the current form, the deck is running 28 lands, which feels like it's too many, considering that our curve is quite low. But anyway, I'll jump into it. I'll start with the lands. So it's also mountains along with some utility lands like Quicksand, like Radiant Fountain. For ramp, we have Sandstone Needle. For card draw, we have Forgotten Cave, one copy of Desert of the Fervent, and then Desert to just mess with our opponent's creatures. It's a very nice card against things like Blighted Agent. Then the main sort of shell or key game plan of this deck is land destruction. So we are running 4 copies of Molten Rain, the classic that destroys a land if it's non-basic. Molten Rain also deals 2 damage to its controller. Pillage, 3 mana, it can destroy an artifact or a land. Then we also have 4 copies of Raise, 1 red for a sorcery. As an additional cost, sacrifice a land, and it says destroy target land. So that's partly why we are running so many lands, is that we can sacrifice our own lands to Raise and not be too much on the back foot as a result of that. Ideally, we are not set back nearly as much as our opponent is. Then we have a ton of removal. We have Lightning Bolt, we have Incinerate, we have 4 copies of Mog Fanatic, an old classic. It's possible that there are better 1-drops in this slot, but I have been enjoying it. Just the fact that it can be very annoying for your opponent because you can just sacrifice it to ping their creatures. You can ping them. It's 1 red for a 1/1, sack it, 1 damage to any target. We are also running 3 copies of the classic Jackal Pup. Also a card that I like, but that is maybe not that powerful anymore, but it's 1 red for a 2/1. It says whenever it is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to you, which is a bit of a downside, but it's an aggro body. Then we have 2 copies of Curse of the Pierced Heart, which I've actually found to be quite solid, quite an interesting card. Maybe more copies of it in the main board are necessary, but it's 2 mana for a curse. At the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep, Curse of the Pierced Heart deals 1 damage to them. Then finally, at the top of our curve, we have 3 copies of the Monarch Classic red card, Crimson Fleet Commodore, 4 for a 5/2 with Trample. When it enters the battlefield, you become the Monarch. So I've had a lot of fun playing with the strategy. I like this kind of red Ponza style of play, this game plan. But yeah, I'm definitely open to suggestions for improvement. I think it has potential, but definitely needs to be optimized. So as usual, drop a comment if you have ideas. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.